everybody, it's Reckless, and welcome to Breaking the Fourth Wall. So, in this video, I want to go over the 2.4.0 patch that Bungie actually did a couple of days ago. Now, I understand that it is a couple days late, and I greatly apologize for that. However, I wanted to make sure I got every single thing possible for this video. Now, unfortunately, Bungie doesn't put every single thing in the patch notes that they actually do, so I actually made another video that is about the noticeable changes in update 2.4.0, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. However, if you already know everything about the patch of 2.4.0, then you don't need to watch this video unless you would like to be entertained. So, let's move on, shall we? Now, the 2.4.0 patch actually had a whole section alone just on weapons. However, I am not doing anything in this video about weapons, and that is actually going to be saved for another video. I will be reading off the patch notes, and if you would like to follow along, I will put a link to the patch notes in the description below. However, I will also be giving you guys my thoughts and explaining things further if need be. So the first thing we're going to talk about is armor. And Bungie fixed a bug causing a +1 armor perk to sometimes fail to function. And that's pretty much self-explanatory. Also, class items can now be accepted by shaders. For example, if you have a Year 1 Silimar's Wrath, which is a Year 1 Titan skirt for the Iron Banner. Yeah, I said it, Titan skirt. Or if you have the Scion Flare capes for your hunter, then those actually still change color even if it doesn't look like it. Now, the Silimar's Wrath, the belt, will actually change with the shader. And as for the Scion Flares, you can see that the tops of the cape, not the actual full cape itself, but where the cape hinges onto the hunter, that's what changes. The next thing I'm going to be going over is public events. And Bungie changed public events in our favor. So once you complete your first gold tier public event, we will be getting 1 legendary engram once you are level 40, 15 planetary materials, which is based on the planet that you're on, and that includes whatever moon you're on, 15 legendary marks, 5 motes of light, a very low chance of an exotic shard, which a low chance of an exotic shard is better than no chance, especially how there's no way of getting exotic shards except for dismantling exotics. Right now, we'll be given 4,000 XP to our character, the subclass that character is on, in your gear, which includes your armor and weapons, and we'll be getting 25 Vanguard reputation. Now, repeated gold tier events will give you 200 glimmer, a chance to 2 to 5 planetary materials, 1 to 2 motes of light, 1.5k XP, a green or blue engram, 25 reputation, Vanguard reputation, A repeated silver public event will give us 100 glimmer, a chance for 2 to 3 planetary materials, 750 XP. And as for repeated bronze public events, we will be getting 50 glimmer, a chance for 1 to 2 planetary materials, and 500 XP. The next thing we'll be going over is quests. And the quest menu has been changed and has been renamed to Progress. The record books have been taken out of the inventory and put in their own location in the Progress menu. And the quest, bounty, and reputation displays have been adjusted. Now, the record books are on the left-hand side, quests are in the middle, and the bottom is the bounties, and on the right-hand side is the reputation. So the next thing we're actually going to talk about is everyone's favorite game mode, which is Crucible. Now, Bungie has removed legendary engrams from the Crucible post-game carnage report, or the PGCR. That way, Crucible legendary weapons will drop significantly more often, which that means you can get a longbow easier. Now, they also fixed an issue where Crucible activities tooltips were showing the wrong icon. The Beowulf, Cicero, and Gilgamesh shaders can once again be acquired by completing Crucible matches. Bungie fixed some reward logic associated with vanity items from Shaq's weekly packages. The Crucible Quest factions New Monarchy will no longer ask a player to earn points in the salvage playlist. Well, they should have done that earlier, you know. Maybe a lot of people wouldn't spend their time wasting on that. Just saying. Also, the Crucible Quartermaster weekly bounties have been removed. Why? No. This was awesome. Also, free Sterling Treasure from the weekly Crucible and Postmaster will be discontinued. And now you will be able to only purchase Sterling Treasure from the Eververse Trading Company, or you will be able to get them in the Prison of Elders. The next thing we're actually going to talk about is several different Crucible game types. Now, for starters, every 3v3 game type will give slightly less heavy ammo per brick, which that kind of sucks. As for the Trials of Osiris, the Year 2 Trials of Osiris has ended, and Trials of Osiris will resume in the Rise of Iron on September 30th, which is a week after it's actually released, or at least a Friday after the raid is released. Now, in Elimination, heavy ammo now only appears at one, I'll say it again, at one central location in elimination matches. My thing is, I wonder if this is going to carry over to Trials as well, because if that's the case, then there's going to be a huge fight for heavy ammo. But I guess we'll have to see what happens. Bungie also fixed a bug where the heavy ammo could persist through rounds if the heavy round ends before it can spawn. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting, I guess. As for salvage, Bungie lowered the relic capture spawn delay from 15 to 10 seconds. They lowered the relic spawns from 25 to 15 seconds. They lowered the countdown time on enemy probes from 45 to 30 seconds. They raised the interaction radius on enemy probes from 3 to 5 meters, and they also raised successful sabotage score from 150 to 200 points. So now, salvage games will actually go a lot faster, and that's something that salvage actually really needed. Bungie also changed scoring so that now only interacting players can get points for a successful sabotage. As for Rift, Bungie added an overshield on player spawn to cut down on spawn camping. Oh, I hate people who do that shit. And also, they are given an extended runner damage resistance when picking up the spark by a few seconds. I guess that's pretty cool for that. As for maps, we have Rusted Land, Vertigo, and Crossroads. They did a couple of good changes to those maps. They added invisible physics to stop players from escaping intended playable areas. So no more jumping out the maps. Got it? Get it? Good. As for Pantheon, they rotated the lower heavy ammo crate to keep ammo from falling off the map, which is obviously a good thing. In Blind Watch, they moved elimination tiebreaker zone indoors to avoid bias towards Bravo. It's pretty interesting. Now, as for the last bit of patch notes, we are going to head towards the UI. The fire team and players in current game session have been combined, so now it will display 12 players without needing to change pages, which is pretty convenient. The clan roster has been added and will be available most likely when the Rise of Iron is actually here. The inventory menu has been modified and they added ornaments in the middle column. And also the abandoned quest kiosks menu now allows users to view more than the first page. So that is everything listed in update 2.4.0 that does not include weapons. Once again, I will be doing a separate video on that. However, there are still more things in Destiny that's not in the patch notes. So first off, after the patch went live, there have been reports of rare engrams decoding into exotic weapons. Next, This past week's weekly nightfall has been on a rotation of 2 different strikes, but with the same modifiers. Now, I'm not sure if this will be a permanent thing or not, but we're just going to have to find out and see. And the last thing is that Bungie added 4 new shaders to the shader kiosk. And God, I will say that this is probably one of the most sexual things that Bungie has ever brought to this game. Now, if you're an adult, keep listening. And if you're a child, earmuffs. The first shader is called the Ointment, and fuck, they might as well have just called it KY Jelly. The second shader is called Stolen Chalice, and they should have just said that some chick stole another chick's vibrator. The third shader is called Barrier Ethos, and it sounds like it's been longer than an era since a razor got down to that fuzzy for JJ. And the last shader is my favorite. It's called Sparkle Pony. I'm sorry, I did that way too well. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. If it was helpful, feel free to share it, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Reckless, and remember, own your success, and I will see you guys next time.